So, listen, I know we discussed some things off topic. We have a real estate podcast, but sometimes, real life happens and we speak on it, because at the end of the day, we're normal human beings, we're all human. So, it affects everybody in different ways. And we all know about, the shooting in Texas.
And Buffalo.
Happened. Yeah, and Buffalo. But the most recent one in Texas that, took, I believe, over 19 lives.
21.
19 children and two teachers, correct?
This is madness, bro. Ridiculous. It hurts me even talking about this shit, bro.
It's crazy, man, because, at the end of the day, the only thing the parents did was, their only crime was dropping their kids off at school.
Right.
It's crazy. My wife is a teacher. And I know it hit her hard because as soon as she got there, they had pamphlets there, like waiting for her at school, like how to speak to your kids. And before she left, she told me this morning, she goes, I hope they don't bring it up.
Wow.
I hope they don't bring it up because I don't know how to
right.
I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know how to tell them. Really, it's just something I don't want to speak about.
She says is she talking about her students?
Her students. Her students.
How old are they?
She teaches 4th grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they're in the know.
Right away.
They're in the know for sure.
Right away, as soon as she gets there. Boom.
Wow.
It's sickening.
She broke down. She broke down in class. I mean, she cried with the students, and just she just. I guess her going, what would I do? There's no protection. What would I do if someone came in here and I'm barricaded in with my kids?
Right.
And my kids go with her to that school. What does that look like that I get a phone call like that? That I've lost, half of my family.
Right.
And all they did was go to school. It's stuff. It may have happened in Texas, but it's not like it can't happen here or anywhere.
That's the thing.
It's 27 shootings this year alone, bro. School shootings.
Crazy.
This is ridiculous, bro.
I heard an interview today. I think it was last night from Steve Kerr.
Yes.
He said some shit that was real. And then there was a young lady on ESPN when I was watching the basketball game earlier, and she said, I'm sitting right now in my office. I've been in my office all day, working or whatever. So normally I have the TV on in the back, and I just have it on for sound because I'm staring at my screen. So I hear the girl in the background, and she started talking, and she was like, she paused for a minute. Obviously she's emotional. She was like, same thing what Steve Kerr said. There's no way we should become numb to this. It shouldn't just be a feeling that I heard it. Oh, well, it can't happen to me. That wasn't my kid. Oh, just take a moment of silence for those people. And, you go about your day. And she said, for a second, stop what you're doing. And she was like, no, I'm serious. I'm talking to everybody out there. Stop what you're doing. And I looked up and she paused and she was like, look in the room around you. And whoever's in that room, imagine you lost every one of those. What would you do? What congressman would you call? What city hall would you go to? What march would you be a part of? Right. You know what I'm saying? And that touched home because number one, it's a tragedy. Any and all of the senseless, shootings for whatever the reasoning is, racial backgrounds, or video games or whatever, socialism, whatever that thing, whatever it is that's driving these people. I don't care who you are. It's sick. It's sick. And I had a conversation.
It's more than sick, bro.
I had a conversation with my wife today, and I said, it makes me want to be in a place where I wouldn't even care if I went to prison, because I was holding, an illegal firearm, not in anticipation for something like that, but just in case.
Just in case.
I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. I'd rather be the person who can help all those 22, 21 defenseless people than the one just running around them too and trying to hide and, You know, it's sad when you think about 6 and 7 year old kids, man. The ones
6 and 7 year olds,
the ones who survived were found the better hiding spots.
I don't even want to. So in my house, I don't even speak about it, bro. We didn't bring it up because we just don't know what to say. We don't know how to react. It's just, how do you say my daughter is 6, going to be 7, that she might have a conversation about, it might happen in her school. I can't even fathom that, bro. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. And what's crazy to me is they're trying to stop abortions, but don't stop guns, bro. Yeah. They're trying to stop from you for your own body, making a choice for your own body, but you're shooting people, and that's okay. It happens.
And whether you're, because
fucking ridiculous,
political,
bro.
Right? Whether you're Republican or Democrat or pro-gun or not pro-gun, I mean, at least let's make something where it's hard to get a gun. You know, let's make the parameter, or not the parameter, but the what's what I'm looking for to make it stiffer. Just, you know, the process, of getting a gun, you know, harder. You know, as far as, you know, background, like even in-depth background checks. I mean, I'm not sure how it works now. Really,
a little bit further than that. Like, you know, the vetting process for people who are able to have guns, it's so different in every state, right?
Correct.
In the state where I live, in New York State, it's, in order for you to have a gun, you might as well ready to become the president of the United States. Your background has to be flawless, right? But if I go to Atlanta, Georgia, I can buy a gun with, I don't even have to have really
a day or two
license. You don't even have to have like an ID or something. You don't.
In Texas, that's what it's a holding state, so you don't have to have anything. All you gotta do is
open carry state.
Open carry start, yeah.
So yeah, and that's a lot of southern states are like that. I mean, I know here, you know, I live in Virginia now, and my thing is, I can go get a gun and I can wear it on the outside as long as I holster it on the outside and walk around with it, no problem. But I don't care about the fact of how you holster it and whatnot.
Yeah. Like the Wild West.
It's the fact of how you're getting it. Right. Should it only take me a day or two? What's the process look like?
Right. And I think that the AR-15s, the automatic weapons, those things should be like the highest level securities. You know, basically, I think personally, if they treated AR-15s in every state like they treat them in New York, I think these type of things would be a lot more limited, right?
So what you're saying, just to be clear, so what you're saying is that not that you can't get it, it's the vetting process is, you know, a lot more stern, so that way the people that have it deserve to really have it, right?
So I would say at least start with, you have to be of age, 25. So because at 25, you can't, I'm not going to say it's perfect. I'm not going to say
I don't like that, just Jerry, because you could serve in the military at 18, you know, but if you're not in the military, they take you to 25. I mean, it's just that you just need to vet them better, you know, really, or make it.
So let me just, you say if you're military and you serve, that is a job. You're not doing a job in your house or walking around.
Yeah, but and I guess we can agree to disagree, because I think serving in the military is it's a career, but it's also like it's like a devotion. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, you're serving for your country, and who's to say somebody that goes to serve for 18 years old,
they come back at 24 and they can't carry a gun.
Even if they do a 2-year term or they get you know, discharged or whatever, they come back and they're very, very experienced on how to use and operate a firearm. You know, they've done it to serve the country, and now they come home and they can't do it to protect their family.
What are you protecting your family for if you don't need it? If everybody is so, and like if you're holding, you're going to Texas, you could be 18 anywhere and you could have it. In New York, you have to be vetted correctly to get that.
But that's what we're saying. Just vet everyone correctly.
That's all.
You know, through and throughout the nation. You see what I'm saying? The same, on
like the New York gun law rules. I'm not speaking on like the open. Basically, what it boils down to politically, I'm not talking about the Republican state gun laws. I'm talking about the Democratic state gun laws, right? Because it's a common thing that Democratic states have a lot stronger and harsher gun rules. And it's a very common thing that the Republican states have, a little bit looser. Obviously it boils down to the NRA attachments and all that stuff, but we're not getting into all that. My point is that where I'm from and how they operate here with gun laws. Now, mind you, New York is crazy with crime. People get shot every day. People get shot every day, B.
Right.
It's a fact, but I'm not saying that New York is perfect, and I'm not saying Democratic states have perfect gun laws. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is they make it very difficult for any Joe Schmo to just go buy an AR-15. I would even go further to say that people who have AR-15s locally, if they're not registered to carry them, they probably get them either number one off the street or number two from a different state and bring them in.
Right.
Yeah, I would go. I would challenge you guys and say, if you want military, he's doing a 2-year bid and he just came back out. He is qualified for it. But an 18-year-old that doesn't have any records is not qualified. Or a 21-year-old that didn't have no military background and just wants a gun is not qualified.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're creating stipulations for some type of vetting process, which I agree with that. I was going with the age limit I'm talking about, because at 25, 26, you kind of know yourself.
You're mature, you're saying.
Yeah, a little bit mature.
Yeah, but doesn't mean you're not a psycho, though.
Absolutely not. So it's not going to be perfect. But these 18-year-olds are killing kids now.
Somebody said this to me yesterday. How do you feel about this? You want the gun crime to slow down and stop? Make it
want a gun?
Everybody to have a gun.
Yeah. You got to remember, in Republican, well, shit, I can't even say it because this happened in Texas. But
that's what I'm saying, man. It's happening everywhere in the world.
It's so tough because like I'm pro gun, right? But I'm also at the same time I'm pro vetting. Like even whether it's a psychiatric test they got to go through or whatever that looks like. But I just there's got to be something.
It has to be a step. Something
you can't just
else,
give your
bro.
ID and they go, okay, you're not a felon. Okay, here you go. Here's your gun. Here's your pack of bullets, and then you're off and running. Maybe it's got to be something. I mean, this dude obviously had an issue. Hispanics. He killed his grandmother.
Before he even.
And everyone knows Hispanics, your abuela, right? The grandmother is the backbone of the families 95% of the time in Hispanic families, right? The grandma is God in that family.
Well, I can do no wrong.
Can't do anything wrong. Listen, well, I said so, that's it.
Well, I said it, yeah.
He said it, that's it. Doesn't matter.
We're going right? We're going to house.
That's it. So for him to do, I mean, what he did, I mean, I can't wrap my brain around it. You have to be a psycho, right? To wrap your brain around what he did. But for him to start with his grandmother, the backbone of the family, right? And then go off and do what he did in that school. I mean, I just need them to really investigate and figure out what went wrong here. If what was wrong with this guy, his psyche. Do evaluations need to take place to get a gun, wherever it is? I don't think we should take away the guns. I think it just needs to be a stiffer vetting system, like you said. I agree with you, DT. And Jerry, maybe lift the age up. I'm not sure. I don't have the answers, to be honest with you. I don't know.
But
nor do they. And I don't think there's ever going to be a perfect vetting system.
Absolutely.
I mean, at the end of the day, what we can all agree on is this. And my bad, John, I'm going to cut you off. But what we can agree on is that what we have right now, it ain't working. Right? So, do we press the panic button and say take all guns away? 100% no. Right? Do we press the panic button? Yes. And how do we do that? Like I said, I'm gonna go back to Steve Kerr, because what he said to me, that shit hit my heart. He said we got 50. He said we got 50
states
senators, 50 senators in DC, plus 435, House and all this stuff, and they vote. There's a law. I don't even know what the law is. I don't know if I agree or disagree.
It's on the table. Yep.
It's on the table, and they won't even vote on it. And the purpose of them not voting on it is basically to keep power. This is all Steve Kerr's words. to keep power. So he was like, I challenge you all to look at your kids, look at your families, and consider them, and at least vote on it. Even if it's no, at least vote on it. You know what I mean?
At least step up to the plate. Let us know where you stand.
And like to Jerry's point, they're gonna talk about abortion. They're talking about stuff in the NFL. They're talking about like some shit that doesn't matter. Shouldn't be more pressing.
Johnny Depp in his case. I mean,
27 shootings, and we're talking about Johnny Depp.
It's crazy. I swear, I was just gonna say that I saw more press in the last 2-3 weeks, and I've heard from more people, TikTok and everything else, about Johnny Depp and his case than I've heard about this thing. And I know this just happened 2 days ago, but even still, I heard about Johnny Depp today. Even this Brittany Griner. I heard more about Brittany Griner today than I heard about the shooting.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, and this is why I keep on saying about the age. You can't drink at 18, but you can get a gun. Tell me how.
You smoke at 18. Yeah.
And you smoke at 18, that's the same thing as a gun? What are we talking about?
It's not, but it's like where is the line, right? I mean, you have consent. You're an adult. You can sit an adult at 18. You can do everything basically, but drink at 18 and rent a car. You know, like you can't. There's a couple of things you can't do. So it's like the lines are so blurred.
And that couple of things should be not getting a gun as well.
No, you cannot drink. You cannot rent a car. But you can do a life prison term.
Right. You can be charged an adult, no problem.
I'm okay with that. Some things you cannot do. And you having a gun at 18, you should not have it.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm just disgusted about that.
I'm torn on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, this is why
in Buffalo, how old was the guy in Buffalo? Do we know?
I think he was
a youngin too.
He was a youngin too, bro. I
think he was 18.
Yeah. That's why I said it.
He was on his way to Rochester.
He drove 200 miles.
3 hours.
He was gonna go to Rochester first.
Yep.
Decided that there was not enough black people where he was headed first because the number of per capita black people in the town in Buffalo where he went was the highest, according to whatever he looked up.
He did real research.
That's why he went there first. If not, it would have been right here in my backyard. God knows, you know what I'm saying, how close that would have touched.
He went to a supermarket, guys.
No, did you see the video?
Yes, I did.
Bro, he didn't even park. He pulled up front like he was valet.
He didn't park and walked out. Then killing people.
Then in the store when
reloaded,
when he's doing what he's doing, reloading, he walks up to a white man
and walks right back out.
Sorry.
He tells the white man, "I'm sorry. You just killed 8 people already." It's bro, how sick.
There's something here, man. It's something here. It's not.
But how he has a gun at 18 is crazy to me, bro.
How do you, there's a lot of questions there. How do you have a gun at 18? How do you hate someone?
You know how we got to go. We don't have to ask that question now. We know that you.
Oh yeah, correct.
Someone that's a different hue than you, that much that you want to see him die
in 2022, bro.
How do you hate your grandmother that much? You shoot her to like kill her. Done. How do you even target a 6-7-year-old kid?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. I don't understand.
What, I don't want to make a joke. What did he eat right today? They were getting your nerves today? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
What did a 6 or 7-year-old kid do to any man, woman, child on this earth to think about them in a way like I want to?
Because my thing is, you got to take that ride there. I mean, like you got
in your mind, you're saying, "I'm gonna kill kids."
You got to put your shirt on. You got to put your pants on. You're gonna put the strap over you, and you're gonna
ridiculous.
3 steps towards that direction, the drive and all that stuff, and all this is going through your head. What in God's green earth? What? I don't know. I can't think like that because I'm not that type of human being. I could never be that. I can't even process that way. But even if you thought negative about that, when you see the first child, the first baby, you would think you'd be like, nah, that's a baby, man. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a baby.
No change of heart. No, nothing.
Yeah, like,
innocence, man. Innocence, bro.
I don't even want to say this on stuff because I know this is kind of like behind the scenes. So I know we'll put this out because we want to show everyone that we're human and we talk about other things other than real estate as well. But I mean,
that lady said this morning. She said I woke up this morning and my daughter woke up. My daughter's 7 years old, and I took her to school, and I sang her all types of songs on the way to school. And when I dropped her off in fear that in the whole ride there, she was going to ask me a question about what happened. And she was like, but because I sang her the song, it distracted her and she didn't ask me no questions. So I left her at school. When I left school, I went home and I came to work, and she does well for herself. She was like, so I was sitting at my desk and I was like, I have the greatest job on earth and I'm so blessed. And when I woke up this morning, all I thought about was brushing my teeth, taking my daughter to school, making sure she didn't have this conversation about what happened yesterday. And now I'm at work and I'm like, I live a great life. There was 19 parents that woke up this morning planning funerals, burying their kids.
I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't lose any of my kids, man. I would go crazy. I mean, I stand on the type of father I am, and
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't, because I don't even know how I don't whatever.
A lot of people say if I'm a firm believer, and I always said, and I'm not just talking about like tragic situations like this. You never know how you're going to react to a situation until
I don't know how I react.
And
I know it. I know for a fact. I'll tell you this though, it won't be good though.
Yeah, I know there's no type of pain. I just buried my grandmother, and my grandmother's 87 years old. She was like, to Lance's point, that's the backbone of the family. That's my mom's, obviously my mom's mother. I mean, she's got 8 kids. It's a lot of history there. And that was hard. But she lived a good life. She's 87 years old. She had health issues. It's kind of been deteriorating little by little.
Right. You can prepare yourself in a way for that. It
wasn't like it was out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So, and that's tough. And I can't even, I just only can think that's not even close. That's not even like the tip of the iceberg to that.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Bro, that's the type of stuff that brings people in permanent depression. People on, like, that's why when you drive by somebody who's homeless, you walk by somebody who's homeless, you don't know what that person went through, man. You don't know that person's story, man.
Yeah, I agree. We always, the family and myself, we always, even if it's not money, I'll buy you food, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna eat today because of me.
I do that a lot. I
always making my business do that with my son and my more so my son. My daughter's young, but my son too. We do like food drives and turkey drives and this, that, and the third. I make sure my son don't go to school that day, and I make sure he comes with me because he's very, my son lives a very good life. He grew up 10 times better than I did, but that's just a good job to his parents.
Yeah.
But I never want him to be to the point where he doesn't understand that there's an other side to life too. You know what I mean? Don't ever forget, and don't ever like look past, and understand that this is what that looks like, and have a heart, have compassion. Don't think because you stand here and you have a warm coat that there's not people who don't. So appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And this kind of goes with that. So
it's tough, man. There's nothing we can say, that can make anyone feel better. This type of situation is just
thoughts and prayers, condolences.
That's all we do is keep everyone in our prayers. And obviously it's a tragedy, and we would like to see this stop. But it's been happening for years. If you look at the statistics, it's scary. More kids have died going to school than more cops have on the job. Wow. It's and it's scary when you put something like that in perspective.
Wow.
Or those type of numbers put in perspective for you. It's just, I have kids. We all have kids here, and I couldn't imagine us waking up, bringing them to school, and then not seeing them again. But our prayers go out to all the family.
Yeah, I would. If we're gonna end it now, I would like to have a 21 second moment of silence for the people that passed.
For sure.
Appreciate you guys.
Definitely. Guys, stay strong out there. H.G.R.G, we're behind you guys. We support you guys. I wish it was something we could do or say, but
Well, there actually is something we could do or say. It's just something that's not like a 2-second answer. Obviously, you always go to the booth. Make sure you're voting for these people. Understand, watch, hold these people accountable who are in office right now. Excuse me. When and I don't mean to drag the episode on, but I want to make this point. When Donald Trump left office, and I'm not singling him out. I'm just using this as an example. When Biden won and Trump left office, all the senators, whether they were pro this or pro that, you understood where they stood on the voting, whether they thought it was legal, whether he won it, lost it, was stolen from him, right? You get this type of shit that happens. Silence. I don't see nobody making headline news. No senator. I don't see it. No senator coming up. None of your local congressmen. I'm not saying none, but just pay attention to them now. If they're not the loudest people in your vision on TV in your local community, remember that when it comes to voting for them. That's how you can make a difference. And it starts local.
Local government is more important than your presidency.
100%.
I want to let you guys know that.
100%.
I don't think we're educated enough, and people that look like us are not educated enough on that. Your local government, make the laws where you live at.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just do more research. I mean, I don't want to go down. We're not big on politics, for sure. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But at the end of the day, our prayers go out to Texas for sure. Those families and those victims for sure. But listen, H.G.R.G
and Buffalo, Texas, Buffalo, and anybody who suffered a tragedy.
All 27 shootings.
Anybody who suffered a tragedy, not just today, not just tomorrow, not yesterday, but our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. Salute, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. It's crazy.